Oh, where to begin? My experiences with instructional technology or educational technologies, I guess, began, 17 years ago when I first started teaching part-time with Lone Star College. I mean, just like your traditional instructor, blackboard, whiteboards, projectors, computers, laptops, desktops, those kind of things. I didn't get the chance to teach in the days of overhead projectors, but those were my traditional experiences. For the most part, for the last 17 years as a part-time instructor, last 10 years as a full-time instructor at HCC or Houston Community College. Once I began to go online, I began to have experiences with things like Blackboard, WebCT, Moodle, Angel, Distance to Learn. Currently I'm working in Canvas, and so for LMSs, that's my experience. But 2 years ago, March 2020, as we ventured online full time once the pandemic hit, and I was pretty apt at the online instruction. So that transition from the face-to-face to the online really didn't bother me or stress me too much. It was fairly easy. I've been doing online for a good 7, 8, 9 years as part of my load for full-time teaching. But once we went online, there was, how do I make it better? How do I make it more impactful? How do I make it more seamless and, try to emulate the face-to-face as best I can, doing the synchronous and asynchronous online teaching. So what I began to look at was, what kind of other tools are out there to help make the classroom experience better. And so it was upgrading webcams to better cameras. It was upgrading the simple microphones to better microphones. It was trying to find different softwares that would allow me to do different things. This is where I learned of OBS, which is Open Broadcast System, which allows me to set up and provide a better presentation. So right now I'm not recording directly to a webcam. I'm actually recording into software that I can manipulate what I'm presenting to my students. So for instance, if I want to, put out different scenes or put out different images without me having to fumble around and try to load up different websites or different pages, I can do something like this if I need to step out for a second, or if I need to do this whenever I want to let students know that, hey, I'll be right back. And so, I began to look at different technologies that weren't really for educational or instructional, but one of my mantras became, as I began to kind of help other people out, help train other instructors, was, we have to look at different things now. You just can't focus on what you've always done and make it work on the online, on a schedule or online anytime format. And so I began to look at we're basically streamers now. We're basically, streaming content to an audience and hopefully engaging them and hopefully making it impactful. And so some of the things I've bought, purchased, obtained over the last couple of years is a lot of streaming equipment, things like a stream deck, which allows me to build out scenes and transition from one to the next. So if I need to show a web page very quickly, I can jump over to something like this and keep myself embedded into the scene, so I can still so they can still see me and my mannerisms. And so something like the stream deck, which you're seeing right up there right now, is something I use on a fairly regular basis when I'm making videos, or if I'm interacting in Zoom. I can pull up stuff. If I want to show a tutorial in my LMS of how to do things, I can pull up that screen and I can still keep myself embedded into the image or into the video, so that the students or other instructors can see myself. Some of the things I've used is something like a survey site to help get information or help figure out, and let me go back over here to where students stand before class starts or after class is over, short quizzes, short surveys, short questionnaires during class, those kind of things. And so what I found is that a lot of stuff that we may not have thought of as educational technologies has now become part of our educational process and learning teaching process. So my goal is to learn about new other things that I may not be aware of. And so I'm hoping this program, and I look forward to the program showing me how to use other things to make my class more impactful, to make it more engaging. Well, my understanding of the program is that it's very young. It's starting, I believe it's third year this fall of 2022. It's had about 22 students who've gone through the program. I spoke to Dr. Miller last week, at least I believe that's what she said. It looks to have a small faculty, number of faculty who teach the courses. Which I believe is a positive, which means we can get better instruction, we can have better interaction, we can build better relationships. I've always been a fan of smaller programs in regards to at least the master's program, so that there could be a more personalized approach to teaching. I'm not familiar with all of the classes. I'm not familiar with the idea of educational and instructional degrees. I'm hoping that it's geared towards making, hopefully, at least for me, instructors better and more impactful for their classes, hopefully more engaging for the students. What are my goals once I've completed the program? I really haven't thought about it that much. I don't have a specific goal I'm trying to attain. I'm not looking to go out and begin a new career. I'm not looking to jump ship from teaching. I enjoy my job. I love my job. I enjoy teaching face-to-face. I enjoy teaching from home. I enjoy the camaraderie. I enjoy interacting with my colleagues. And so I have no goal or no position to say, hey, once I'm done with this, I'm going to go do this. I don't. Ideally, I would like to be able to take what I learned through this program, implement it to my classes, implement it into my training sessions with other instructors on how to take technologies and whatever that means for them, and make better classes, make more impactful, more engaging classes. One of my things is that if students don't want to come to your class and want to engage in your class, then it doesn't matter how good you may be. If no one wants to show up, then something's wrong. And so my idea, my goal has always been, whether it's been face-to-face, at home during the pandemic, is to utilize as many different things as possible to make the class more engaging. So that could be just showing a video in class, or pulling up clips, or having students provide feedback on what can make the class better. It could be showing, providing surveys, like we looked at a little bit earlier, of having instant feedback during the class. Letting students utilize audio and video presentations to get their point across rather than just text-based stuff. So, really the goal for me is just to become better at what I do already and make the classes, again, I said it once, I'll say it again, more engaging, more impactful for them, and more interesting as well for students, but also for other instructors, is how to make their classes more impactful, more engaging. I've done a lot of trainings and tutorials and how-to over the last couple of years during the pandemic when we were all going online. And one of the biggest things that I found, one of the biggest hurdles I found, is that for the instructors, was that they didn't know how to use stuff in their online class. They could do stuff in their face-to-face sessions. They could do stuff in their hybrid sections when they were face-to-face, but taking those same things and moving them online, how do I do this? Was one of the biggest questions. How do I do what I did in face-to-face? How do I do that online? And that was one of the biggest hurdles that we went through. We had to figure out how to do those things online. How to use our phone, or how to use an iPad, or how to use the little writing tablets, or how to, whatever it may be, how to get something from what I see in my head out to the screen or out to the students in the classroom. And so that's my goal, really. I mean, I'm not, again, I'm not looking for a new career. I'm not looking for a new job. Hey, if they come my way, that's great. But the idea is for me is just to, be able to learn new things, implement those into my classroom to make them better.